Like, I'm getting fucking horny looking at this. I'm sorry. And also the sentiment coming from someone that has some connections with JP Morgan, which is a little bit sus, telling you to sell when here in TTM Squeeze, we have an indicator that there could be a squeeze coming.
Okay, let's talk about TTM Squeeze, since it was just misrepresented here by Rico. Welcome to the video. TTM Squeeze is a volatility and momentum indicator. It has nothing to do with a short squeeze, okay? TTM Squeeze has nothing to do with a short squeeze. So the volatility component of the TTM Squeeze indicator measures price compression using Bollinger Bands and Keltner channels. If the Bollinger Bands are completely enclosed within the Keltner channels, that indicates a period of very low volatility. This state is known as the squeeze. So that's what the squeeze in TTM Squeeze refers to, a period of low volatility, which is kind of the opposite of a short squeeze, right? So this is a different squeeze, not the same squeeze. So when Rico says that TTM Squeeze is about to indicate a potential squeeze happening, that's not something that you should necessarily be excited about. Except when the Bollinger Bands expand and move back outside the Keltner channel, the squeeze is said to have fired. Volatility increases and prices are likely to break out of that tight trading range in one direction or the other. When the squeeze is on, you are in a period of low volatility, consolidation, sideways. Once that ends, the price tends to break out in either direction. It could break out to the upside, it could break out to the downside, but that is the squeeze firing or the squeeze ending, okay, in terms of TTM Squeeze lingo. So then you also have a momentum oscillator that is showing with a histogram, and let's look at this TTM Squeeze right here on this chart for the consumer staples ETF, and we see the periods of squeeze are indicated with the red dots, and the green dots represent a squeeze off scenario or squeeze firing. So if we look at where the red dots are indicating a squeeze, we can see this area here, this area here, this area here. And what do these three regions have in common? This is low volatility, sideways kind of movement, not a lot of directional momentum, longer wicks on the candles, right? So once we break out of the squeeze, you see volatile movement to the upside. So this indicator can be useful to indicate periods of low volatility, periods of consolidation over a given time range. So this is a daily chart. This could also be used in an intraday setting as well for day trading and such. But the larger point here is that Rico seems to be confusing the TTM Squeeze with something that would indicate a short squeeze, which is not really possible. It's not really possible that an indicator would be able to tell you that there is a potential short squeeze coming. And I watched this video to see if he ever talked about it again.
Fucking sell a stock, not telling that he's going to be shorting AMC. That's my bullish stance. This is what Leeson in my Discord has been shouting for the last 2 weeks. Right? I'm going to buy in the money calls and exercising the fuck out of them. If we see a breakdown, I'm going to buy the dip, and I would okay, very similar to this move here. You need it to consolidate not too far down. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for that next week. So zero's gray. The red one would be the 236. So that's the 236. And then you have this little to the golden pocket here. Okay, so we're going to take a sine wave. I can never find it. We're going to take it from the automatic if this push down was the full distribution of this distribution, it could be. That's why I'm cautious. I don't know. This is a secondary up thrust, not a lot of volume going on. Last point of supply, sign of weakness possibly, okay? Because it's not very low volume. You get another test of last point of supply. So in this is why I'm curious. We start testing 1750, maybe even $18. I'm fucking full in. My tits are absolutely. Is this little Rico? That's what I see happening. So it's pretty simple, guys. A lot of shit that you guys can follow with this chart. Okay, it might look like a fucking Skittles chart, but at the same time, slowly leaning a little bit more bullish right now. But we have to be careful because SPY right now is at a point as well of either fucking ripping or having that push down. We'll see what we get in terms of news, world news, or if Adam Aaron tweets anything.
Adam Aaron will tweet something and a spy will take a dump.
But fuck, man, it's looking kind of fucking insane right now. Like, I'm getting fucking horny looking at this.
What? Oh, God. Jesus.
Like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, it's going to do that.
I mean, all right, so
That's what it's going to do. That's what it's going to do. Yep. Let's look at some of the comments on this video. Love the analysis. Keeps me sane. A little hope based in the technicals goes a long way for me. AMC is still the #1 most held stock ahead of Tesla and Apple. I don't think that's true. Watching this makes me realize I still have a lot to learn on TA. Anyone telling people to sell now is short or a shill. I've been tweeting about this for 6 to 7 weeks. 95% of people who read mine thought I was lying. Again, here's someone else telling you all the same thing. We do a massive drop and then fly up. Though I definitely don't agree with your bottom, Rico. It's got to be under 12. There's a spring at 1188. I say we are going to 9 and then spring. They better squeeze it before the end of the month because first week of April I'm loading up more shares. Yeah, they better. My God. I've always believed we were in a cycle but couldn't find it in my chart. Everything feels familiar to me. Well, first thing you got to do, Ryan, is you have to put your chart on logarithmic scale. You got to put your chart on log scale. That's what the pros use. I'm jacked too. Hard to do TA involving low and high volume when orders get parked in dark pools for an unknown length of time. They get parked in dark pools for an unknown length of time. It's been a while since I've heard that claimed. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? That doesn't even make sense. How can an order get parked in a dark pool? Even if you use a payment for order flow brokerage, you can still look at time and sales, which like Fidelity, you can see the off-exchange orders. So what are you talking about? They parked in dark pools for an unknown length of time. That's not how it works. Not how it works at all. No expectations, only the inevitable and eventual squeeze. But no expectations. Right, okay. You keep bringing up low volume and how it just doesn't cut it. Pretty sure this is a direct result of retail investors' orders being rerouted where they shouldn't be. So for someone who isn't as knowledgeable in the market, can you show us correlations from all the times AMC broke down and the percentage of dark pool trading? Oh, Rico replied, something will happen that brings in volume without the ability to suppress it. Okay. 4+ million retail investors all buying, even in micro amounts, surely would be enough volume to induce upward price movement in astronomical ways. And boom, there it is. That is the primary belief of the apes right there. They have 4 million retail investors all buying. Surely that would be enough volume to induce upward price movement in astronomical ways. You don't know that there are 4+ million retail investors all buying. You don't know that. Even if there are 4 million apes, the apes don't represent all retail investors. Some investors have been trading this, buying, selling, short selling, buying to close. So just because your cohort is doing something doesn't mean that that cohort speaks for the whole of retail investors. But because people like this have only surrounded themselves with people who say the same thing and induce confirmation bias in an echo chamber, this is the prevailing belief, and that's just not true. This right here seems like could be considered evidence of collusion and price manipulation because you are saying we have this group of people. They've all been buying, trying to make the price go up in astronomical ways. And that's not really how the stock market is supposed to work. Your ability to profit does not depend on what 4 million other people are doing. And if that's the way that you're investing, well, you're not investing. You are gambling. And you're potentially manipulating price. So it's just silly. It's silly, uninformed. Let them sell now because we will have less paper hands when AMC squeezes. Oh my. I don't really think Marge is calling on a large scale. I think we go along this trend for as long as it takes for all of us to sell. We will still all make tons of money though. I hope I am wrong, not shilling just what I see. Yeah, I mean, if the price doesn't go up by a lot, I would agree that I don't think there are going to be margin calls on a large scale. There are too many institutions. There's too much money. Citadel made more money last year. Even if they have to maintain 150% margin on short positions, institutions have a lot of money to play with. And the stock price would have to go up to even get into a range where margin calls would even be a thing. So, they just blindly talk about margin calls. as if it's inevitable, even when the price is going down. Makes no sense. They better hope that the other meme stocks don't go before AMC, or there will be a lot of buying happening. Averaging down, sign of professional investing. Shill, an accomplice of a hawker, gambler, or swindler who acts as an enthusiast customer to entice or encourage others. Literally all of these YouTubers are shills, and you all use the word shill wrong. I like that. How does millions/billions of synthetics, whatever the amount is, factor into TA? Is it just algos? If the float is owned, how can we follow the chart? Well, again, there's a central tenet of the narrative. Millions or billions of synthetics. Well, whatever. I mean, we've never seen one. No evidence for that. It's uninformed. Rico, you should see if you can get as many people as possible to buy on the same date and see what happens. Oh, that's a great idea. This guy said AMC 300 in December. Right. I'd be Jack, brother, but your TA hasn't aged well. We'll see. How you talking shit on Lou, but been predicting also and have been wrong. Pushing share offering. I want to believe you, but bro, which is it? The January-June run was because Wyckoff predictions or share offerings? You keep contradicting yourself. You said this in December, January, February, and so on. Still no MOAS. All these good comments are buried down here. This is very embarrassing, and Margin Call does not care about TA. Sorry, bud. So, by and large, overwhelming support for Rico and his bloated TA here. I mean, this is a long video. You can watch it if you want, but, you know, it's super bullish. It's super bullish. But the main point of my video here is just that TTM Squeeze has nothing to do with a short squeeze. Nothing to do with a short squeeze. And of course, I put the link to this explainer here in the description. And you know what? I'll even throw in some explainers for Bollinger Bands and Keltner Bands. How about that? Can't beat that. All right, that's all I got. Have a good one. Join the finance chat, like the video, and subscribe, please. I would appreciate it. If there's somebody you know who needs to see one of my videos, go ahead and share it with them. They'll thank you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See ya.